In the ancient land of Canaan, long before kings ruled Israel or prophets spoke God's word, a drama unfolded inside the womb of a woman named Rebekah. She felt a strange and painful struggle within her and cried out to God for understanding. The answer she received would shape the destiny of entire nations. God told her, "Two nations are in your womb, and the older will serve the younger." When the time came, the twins were born in a way that mirrored the prophecy itself. Esau came out first, red, rugged, and covered in hair. But Jacob followed immediately, clinging to Esau's heel as if refusing to be left behind. Their entrance into the world was a sign of the lifelong tension that lay ahead. As the boys grew, their differences became even clearer. Esau became a skilled hunter, wild, energetic, and always outdoors. Jacob, on the other hand, was quiet, thoughtful, and preferred staying near the tents. Even their parents deepened the divide. Isaac favored Esau for his strength and hunting skills, while Rebekah favored Jacob for his gentle and strategic mind. The stage was set for conflict. One day, an incident occurred that would mark the first major turning point in their relationship. Esau returned from the fields exhausted and starving. Jacob was cooking a pot of red stew. Desperate for food, Esau begged for some. Seeing an opportunity, Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright." The birthright was far more than a simple inheritance. It represented leadership, spiritual authority, and the future destiny of the family. But Esau, driven by hunger and impulse, swore an oath and gave it up. For a bowl of stew, Esau surrendered what generations considered sacred. Jacob gained the birthright. Esau walked away with a full stomach but an empty legacy. Years passed, and the moment came when Isaac, old and nearly blind, wanted to give the final blessing to Esau. This blessing was the father's prophetic declaration over the firstborn once spoken. It could not be reversed. Rebekah overheard Isaac's plan and believed this was the moment the prophecy about Jacob must be fulfilled. She devised a daring plan. Jacob dressed in Esau's clothing. Goat skins were wrapped around his arms to mimic Esau's hairiness. He entered Isaac's tent, pretending to be his older brother. Isaac hesitated, confused by the voice, but convinced by the smell and the feel. With trembling hands, he blessed Jacob, giving him authority, fruitfulness, and dominion, everything meant for Esau. Moments later, Esau returned, and the truth collapsed on Isaac like a wave of regret. Esau's cry filled the tent, a deep, painful sound. He begged for another blessing, but the spiritual blessing of the firstborn had already been given away. From that day, Esau hated Jacob. He swore in his heart, "When our father dies, I will kill my brother Jacob." Rebekah heard of Esau's plan and urged Jacob to flee immediately to her brother Laban in Haran. Jacob left his home in fear, carrying only a staff and the weight of the stolen blessing. For the next 20 years, Jacob lived far from Esau, building a family and acquiring wealth, yet always looking over his shoulder, always wondering if Esau still waited for revenge. Eventually, God spoke to Jacob and commanded him to return home. But with that command came fear of facing the brother he had deceived. As Jacob approached Canaan, he sent messengers ahead. The news they brought back was terrifying. "Esau is coming to meet you, and he is bringing 400 men." To Jacob, it looked like an army. He divided his people into groups, hoping at least some would survive if Esau attacked. He prayed desperately for protection and sent gifts ahead, hundreds of animals sent in waves to soften Esau's anger. That night, Jacob wrestled with a mysterious divine being who changed his name to Israel, symbolizing a new identity and destiny. The next morning, Jacob saw Esau approaching. He bowed to the ground 7 times, bracing himself for the worst. But what happened next was something Jacob never expected. Instead of drawing a sword, Esau ran toward him, embraced him, and wept. For the first time in decades, the brothers held each other not as enemies, but as family. The hatred, fear, and rivalry that had shaped their youth melted away in a moment of forgiveness. Esau accepted Jacob's gifts, not as payment, but as a sign of peace. The two men parted ways honorably, Jacob returning to Canaan, and Esau settling in the land of Seir. Years later, they would stand together one last time to bury their father, Isaac. The story that began with struggle and prophecy ended with reconciliation and peace. And that is what truly happened between Esau and Jacob, a story of conflict, choices, and ultimately, forgiveness that shaped the destinies of nations. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, Be sure to subscribe for more.